Hi, welcome to Awakenment TV series, episode 5. Today we're going to talk about the ego, spirituality, and how man can find obstacles or difficulties in his spiritual journey. The man who wrote me came with this question, and I'm going to address it tonight and see how important it is to understand your ego when you practice spirituality as a man. So the question is how to cultivate humbleness as a man, and how masculine ego affects the spiritual journey of a man. That's a very important question for you as a man when you look information about spirituality or you are already on a spiritual path. If this path means you are meditating, if this path means you are going to church, you study the Bible, or whatever you do, that means you have a spiritual path. So today we are going to talk about the masculine mindset and how this masculine mindset manifests as an obstacle. We're going to talk about the ego and his disadvantages, and also we are going to talk about the soul connection and how to listen your intuition as a man. My name is Florentinagionea. I'm a spiritual life coach for men, and today I want to share with you my wisdom and my opinions about this topic. Let's go in the first part. So, one of the biggest obstacles that men have during their spiritual journey is the ego. Women have the emotions, the fact that they cannot keep their emotions stable. When the woman has a spiritual practice and she managed to keep her emotions stable, that means her evolution goes faster. For the man, ego is very powerful. Why? Because his mind system is very well built from itself without taking care of the soul and what the soul needs. And I'll explain more in a second. The mind of the man is different constructed from the mind of a woman, and also the emotional systems are very different from man to woman. The emotional system for women is more complex. For men it's more simple. For women it's easier to overpass the ego and the mind and tap into their heart chakra, into their soul space, and listen what they have to do. For men it's harder. Why? Because men are wired to believe only the things that are mental, only the things that can be scientifically proven, only the things that can be somehow demonstrated. When it comes to soul, the soul doesn't have to demonstrate anything. So when you act from the space of your mind, everything you create can be an illusion, even if you are on your path, because if you create only from the space of the mind doesn't have the same backup as the soul, doesn't have the same power as the soul. So that's why men build their lives to a certain point, and then they just figure out that everything collapses, everything is destroyed, and they have to reconstruct from zero. So mind system and heart system are two different energetic systems. Ego is that small talk that always tells you spirituality is not okay, what is this bullshit, you don't need to know about chakras, why women went crazy and all meditation is not good for you. These are auto-sabotage programs that you need, self-sabotage programs that you need to get out of your system. That's why when I start to work with men, the first thing that we do, we work with their brain waves. Because when you work with the brain waves, the mind knows, I know this. It's scientifically proven. And I know the brain waves. I heard about gamma, delta, theta, and other So I have something to work with. So the first thing that I do with men, I teach them how to work with their brain waves and reprogram their subconscious mind in order to clear the mental area, to give them the space to go inside their soul and experiment the soul connection. When you create things from your mind, there is fear and doubt. When you create things from your soul, there is certainty and yes or no. Because the soul knows what is good for you and what is not. The problem is that you don't listen. And why you don't listen? Because the mind was trained to be independent from the whole body energetic system. The mind should be aligned with the soul and also aligned with the energetic body. So when you have this true alignment in place, your energy starts to flow and you start to feel aligned. When you start to feel aligned, you don't have fear, you don't have doubt, you don't question yourself anymore because you tapped into your power. And there is a virtue called presence. When you understand the state of presence and practice presence, that's when you just tapped in your power. From there, you can deeply connect with your soul because you cleared all the brouillage, all the bad frequency that were keeping you away from being you in your power, and you just clear the path, and now you can express yourself as a soul. Ego is not bad. Ego, it's made there to protect you, help you. The fact that we write, the fact that we talk right now, it's a system made through ego. But ego should not have more power than your soul. Ego should not be the one who puts obstacles in your life, and you should know how to connect in your soul all the time. So when it comes to humbleness is a way to surrender yourself to God. It's that simple. Humbleness, it's a way to surrender yourself to God. Because when you create on spiritual level, the mind can come up and say, I created that. I was part of this process, because it's her need to be seen and appreciated. But when you go in the space of humbleness and you don't react to things, if someone comes to you like I come now and I talk to you about ego, your ego might object and say, what she's talking about? Why does she has those greens painting behind? The mind, it's distracting you from the information that you should have for your soul. So when you want to really access humbleness and give away ego from your path, you just do the let it go technique. So I let it go now and I let God. Every time when I'm in a situation where I feel like it's not fair, it's not good for me, or it's not working for me, I say I accept this situation, I let God to do the rest, and if there is something I can give more in this moment, I will give more. Let the other have more than me. And in that moment, something happens and I receive much more than I gave. So I have a short story on this. You don't know about me because this project is really new, but I'm a writer, so I write books. I also have a book wrote for men. It's a draft. It will be published this year. And I went to the school because I had a school for writers. And at the end of the school, they give us some diplomas, like you're a writer, you graduated, congratulations, and so on. And because I repeated again the school, I went in the last module again when people prepared me another diploma. Because I didn't took the first one because I was missing, and now I just recovered the module. So the guy who wrote the diplomas was saying, who doesn't have a diploma? I say, I don't have, because I was missing last time. And two other ladies were like, we don't have diplomas either. And they were fighting because there were 2 diplomas and 3 women. And I was like, you know something? Give my diploma to the other lady, because it's okay if I don't have a diploma. I have the information, I have the knowledge, I know what I have to do, I know how to write a book to be very, very good. So it's okay if you don't give me a diploma. I was talking to the teacher. And he said, no, you are going to receive a diploma because I already wrote it and there is nothing to do about it. And the ladies were very upset because one of them didn't get a diploma. And that was because she already had one and she wanted a second one. So at the end of the course, the teacher wasn't the one who was giving the diplomas. He just shared the diplomas randomly to everybody, and a person should greet another person and hand the diploma. So when it came my turn, a colleague came to me, Florentina, congratulations, you're a writer, here's your diploma. Yeah, I was really happy, and I was going to sit to my place. And in 1 minute, another person came to me and said, Florentina, look, here is your diploma. You deserve it. Congratulations. I'm like, oh my God, I have 2 diplomas because I wasn't fighting with the ladies because I want one. I was just willing to give mine. So from that space of giving and not wanting anything back, I received 2 diplomas. So this is one story, one experience that I have, but there were many in the past who showed me the same in any area of my life. So when it comes to humbleness, the easiest thing you can do is to focus yourself in your heart. So you just clear your mind, place your hands in the center of the heart, and ask your mind to sit here in the chest. And in that moment you say, just let it go and let it God, and you don't do nothing. And that energy will transform you and transform your attitude, so you become more grateful and more happy with what you are and what you have. Because the mind always wants. The soul always has. The soul is not like, I want that or that. The soul is, I have that and I have that too. So when you operate from the soul connection, everything goes easier. Also, there is a word that says that women have intuition and men don't. That's a lie. Men also have intuition. The only problem is that men haven't developed that intuition so much. So when they start to develop their intuition, that means they start to listen to their soul, they start to listen to their divine connection, and from that space they can be guided in life. So I teach men to develop their intuition, and I always say men also have intuition. Women have it more developed naturally, but as a man, if you work, you can develop your intuition too. And why it's important to have your intuition developed? It's important because it helps you to make better decisions, to know where you head to. When you are in difficult time and you don't know what to choose, the intuition will save you. Now, let's go back to the ego. Why ego it's an obstacle and what disadvantages has? When you create from the space of ego, you create small. When you create from the space of heart and soul, you create huge. So ego steps aside in your way also as a test. The ego can take you back from the woman of your dreams because you're too proud, or you can shut down your connection with your soul because you want only material things and you think that you cannot have both. And I tell you right now that you can have also material things and also spirituality. And when you create material things from spirituality, your power of manifestation and creation is much more, it's bigger, it's larger, and its impact will impact more people. Why? Because you do something for the divine, you do something for God. You don't do things to just satisfy your needs, you are serving others. And when you serve others, you create value, and that value brings you back value in other forms like money, properties, and so on, family maybe. And when you understand that spirituality has to become one of the most important values, from that space you will start to create an amazing life on earth. And when I talk about spirituality, I don't like to go in woo woo and blah blah. When I speak about spirituality, I like to speak about having a spiritual life, but also an abundant life in your physical area. Because there are many spiritual people who are broke, who have bad beliefs about and negative beliefs about money, who think that you cannot be spiritual and also be fulfilled in relationship or be wealthy, which is not true. If you connect yourself through a higher source of energy and start to express real value in the world, the abundance will come back to you. So when it comes to ego, you have to catch yourself. And when your mind is objecting too much on a topic about spirituality, you have to stop and ask yourself, is this from the ego or from the soul? And if it's from the ego, you just commute yourself, as I told you before, in your heart and take the decision from the heart. Daily I speak with men, and men are writing me, asking me questions, and I create relationships, I build relationships. In this community, I'm not like I'm teaching you something. I want to communicate with you as a man. I want you to write me. I want you to express yourself so I can understand your needs. I find every type of ego manifestation, from aggressivity, from lack of respect, from things like, who are you to have spiritual capacity? Are you joking about this? I don't believe you that you have spiritual capacity. Read my mind in this second. And I'm just having fun and amusing myself, because all those manifestations are from the ego part. All that aggressivity, all that bad talk, haters, and so on, that comes from a hurt person covered by his ego. Also, I talk to men who are kind, who are nice, who wants to know more, who are asking me, hey Florentina, I saw that you have a full power activation session. How can I access it? So I meet all type of men. And when God gave me this mission, I took it because I know I can handle it. So I'm open to receive the right people, the ones who are really seeking spirituality, the ones who really want to access their humbleness in order to go on this path. So if you are curious about how to see and understand your energetic system, or to check your ego level, drop me a message, tell me that you have seen this live, and let's talk from there. I offer a full activation session. It's a session where I just scan your energetic field. I open it if it's closed. I remove the blockages that we find, and after that I just pour energy into your container to activate you to the full power that you can get in this right moment. And from there, I want you to see yourself and understand how powerful you can be. I had today 2 sessions. One was with a man on this topic, full power activation session. He was in tears half of the session because he felt how powerful he can be. and how low he was vibrating. He understood some things that I was telling him, and I could read in his field, in his energetic field, that I had no idea about them. So when you experience that soul connection, that type of energy, that connection with the divine, it's nothing much more impactful than that. So think about it and see if your ego is giving you reasons not to write me, giving you reasons not to listen to your woman to evolve spiritually, not to practice meditation and other stuffs. So text me, tell me what are your blockages, and we will find together a way for you to overcome it. Thank you for being here tonight. See you next week. And if you have a topic for Awakenment TV series, write me, and next week the live will be on your case study. See you.